This place certainly takes your breath away.
Where Helen and Tim travel, we packed up our home in January 2023 to see the world one mountain at a time. We spent the last 3 weeks in Italy, and after hiking the Amalfi Coast, we made the 8-hour drive north to Lake Garda, Italy's largest lake. We're excited to share and explore the mountains at the entrance of the Italian Dolomites and to experience our first Via Ferrata climb up a waterfall.
It's nice to be back in the mountains again. We just got to the town of Garda, Trentino, Italy. It's cool because we got all these little guides. Via Ferrata, trekking. I like the idea more and more of separate beds with separate blankets, as long as they're next to each other. Kind of a small room, but at least we have a little mountain view next to a campground, just like home.
We are in the region of Trentino, and Garda, the largest lake in Italy, called Lake Garda. Super excited to get out into the mountains of the Dolomites. It's been so long since we've wanted to head out here, and we're just excited to see what this little city has to offer. Not only are we in a town with a ton of water sports, but also there's the mountains to enjoy as well.
Kind of feel like we're in a college dorm room. How's the bathroom look? Very basic. What do you think so far? It's pretty epic.
We love staying in the Riva del Garda area in the northwest corner of Lake Garda. This town is located at the southern edge of the Italian Alps near the Dolomites, and Lake Garda is the perfect place as a base camp for outdoor lovers. There are plenty of water, wind sport activities, and the Dolomites even blow the wind through the valleys into the lake, creating a natural wind tunnel in this area. We definitely saw plenty of people outside, either mountain and road biking, hiking, climbing, and much more.
So it looks like you can rent kiteboards, take some lessons, stand-up paddle boards. The shop opens about 8:30. Pretty cool. So there's a lifeguard on this beach, which is very rare for any place these days.
So we've just been riding around on these bikes that we got from our hotel, and we came over to the downtown kind of historic center of Riva del Garda. I see a beer garden, like a German beer garden over there. We've got some accordion music. I mean, check out the center here.
So we've been eating so much pasta and pizza and bread. We just wanted some American food, and so we got a hamburger. And now we are enjoying it with this view. So Tim's going to get in the cold, cold water.
The glacier-fed lake.
2 minutes. Surprised he hasn't dived. There you go. So what'd you think? Your hair is so crazy.
Just like home. Oregon cold, super cold water.
We're on our way to our hike. We are going to a place called Alpine Refugio. We are going on the Cimaghez hike today. Apparently there's going to be a 5,000 feet gain. Not sure what the conditions are since there aren't more recent trail reports. It is June 2nd, 2023, and we are going to the entrance of the Grand Dolomiti Mountains.
Roundabout, take the second exit.
Lake Garda is about 32 miles long, and there are many hiking trails in the area within a walk or a drive from North Lake Garda. Public transit didn't seem very accessible outside of the town, so we recommend renting a car. We decided to drive an hour north, and we'll make sure to share the hike in our YouTube description notes.
And we are going to hike up the face of this mountain and hopefully get to the summit of Cimaghez. It will have amazing views from the top if we make it. There's a lake next to, in the valley next to it. It should be beautiful up there. It's going to be like 5,000 vertical feet though, so it's going to be a challenging morning, and we're already starting kind of late. So one neat feature that all trails has is if you go off trail, it alerts you that you've strayed away from the trail by buzzing, like vibrating. So it just did that to me. It vibrated, and I was like, huh, why is it doing that? And I looked down and I'm like, because we're going the wrong way. So we have an All Trails affiliate link that you can download. It'll be in the description below. We love using All Trails. And now we're back on trail.
I'm already tired. It's like being back home in the Pacific Northwest.
Fresh mountain spring water is the best.
The Europeans do it the best.
They do. They do.
That's awesome.
And then that's a rock climbing wall. Yeah, see the equipment in the wall?
One of the many things we love about Europe are all the fresh water springs that are not just in the towns along, like in the fountains, but also on trails. It's not the first time that we've seen this spring, but this is the first time that we've seen multiple. Pretty cool.
Oh man.
Feels good, huh?
That feels really good.
Oh, you know what? It'd be easy for camper vans to sleep up here.
Hell yeah, it would. So we've been moving for about 40 minutes now, and you can see the beautiful meadows behind me. We are a little disappointed to find out that there is a little parking area up here. Could have driven that entire 40 minutes up here. I marked it on our map, and we are going to continue because right now the summit is definitely clouded in. There is a small chance of storms today, maybe some rain, but I mean, it could move out by the time we get up there. We don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Why don't we change the plans a bit?
Okay.
And we'll go to the right.
Especially
So
since
we
it's
can-
covered anyways.
Yeah, since it's covered right now, we'll go get a view of the valley. And then
Okay.
we can always loop back to the peak if it clears.
The regions of Trentino, where North Lake Garda is located, and also Bolzano are popular main thoroughfares into the Italian Dolomites. The Dolomites are made up of 9 mountain ranges separated by valleys, rivers, and other groups of mountains covering over 1,000 acres of alpine territory.
So, you know when you picked a good trail and there's not many people when the trail that you're following looks like this little path, dirt patch. You can tell that people have walked here, but there's no one around. I mean, look, this is spectacular. Exactly what we've been looking for. Entrance to the Dolomites.
So there are actually quite a few sections of the Dolomites. As we mentioned earlier, this is the entrance, the Trentino area. So for example, there's like the Trentino, the Veneto, and the Friuli area. The mountain chain goes for so long that you are part of that Alps, that Italian Alps system that just stretches for many, many, many miles. Less than a week left in Italy, and we are going to be coming back to the Dolomites late summer, like end of summer, to avoid high season, because not only is it really expensive, but there are a lot of people. So catching the front end, catching the back end. Andiamo. There's the trail marker. We are in the beautiful Dolomites today, in the southern part, in the Trentino area. It is absolutely beautiful, man. Springtime and the blooms. Can't get any better than this. This place certainly takes your breath away. So we've actually seen some wildlife here, our first wildlife encounters here in Italy. We've seen a marmot and a hare. We thought it was hare because it was a giant rabbit, and rabbits obviously aren't that big. It was so cute. Up, down, up, down. This place would be pretty slick if it started raining.
We came up upon one of these shelters, these emergency shelters. You can see it's perched kind of just below this mountain range here. If you're ever caught in bad weather, you can use these as a shelter against the weather, kind of hold out in them. But you can tell that this one it's pretty old, has seen its better days. Looks like someone had brought a mattress that some animals had gotten into. Pretty old, but you know, if it saves your life. Is that a bird? Oh, there's a little chick. There's a little chick, little baby chick.
Just gorgeous views. Not a bad lunch spot. We have for lunch.
Well, we got some beat up sandwiches, beat up fruit. Definitely nice and squished. Pretty great views all around, huh?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Just stopped for lunch, had a little bite to eat. We got started later today than what we normally do, and that's because we wanted to get breakfast. It was included with our hotel, and you know, gotta watch the budget. It's already about 12. No, it's 1. What is it?
No, it's not. Only 12:20.
Okay, so it's like 12:20. We checked the radar, the weather radar. It looks like rain's gonna pop up around 2 p.m. So we decided to change plans. We're not gonna summit.
So we got to pack up and get out of here before the rain moves in, because I do not want to be stuck up here with any rain.
These are some views, huh? Woo!
The hills are alive in the sound of music.
We got to do more prancing though. We have to prance.
I think that's skipping. Oh my god. Okay, so this is where the shelter is. When we were at the bottom, we saw a shelter. Looks like it's just about a 5-minute walk away. Maybe we should just stay here, never leave.
Stay for the night.
There's one town here, a town here, and there's also another town in the valley. It's like an emergency shelter. Oh yeah. Supplies, some water.
This is a brand new emergency shelter that they haven't even finished yet, but you can tell the comparison of the old one that we saw earlier and the newer ones. So really nice, yeah. Great view.
There's so little traffic out on this trail that we can't even find the trail. It's covered underneath all the foliage, the flora, but likely because it is also springtime, so all the blooms are coming out. But I would imagine, you know, the flora starts getting a little brown as the summer moves along with the heat.
The buck too.
We just saw a buck! The Lake Garda, Trentino area was a German settlement of some kind. Not sure how many years ago. Look that up online, but if you know, let me know. But apparently the two most spoken languages here, of course, are Italian and also German.
They've got water flowing into it, and then there's an overflow pipe, which this one's clogged. Otherwise, whenever it reaches the top of the overflow pipe, it just naturally releases. This one needs cleaned, obviously, but you've got a nice little tap down on the end.
So the Dolomites are just out that way.
So we're trying to hurry a little bit because we got these luminous, or wait, not luminous, these looming, we've got these looming storm rain clouds behind us. So we're trying to pick up the pace a little bit.
So it's 1:45 and we started the trail, what, about like 9:45?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so about 4 hours. We completed our loop. Don't think we went more than like 4 miles, honestly. Action. I think that was probably a good 10 out of 10 for me. That's really hard to say sometimes.
There's trails that just kind of broke off and went every direction. There's so many opportunities. We didn't even end up summiting the mountain because of the you know, the timing and the weather and that kind of thing, but it doesn't matter because it was so beautiful, you know.
Yeah, it was probably one of the most beautiful hikes outside of Switzerland, I would say, that I've done. If this is an indication of what being in the Dolomites are going to be like later this summer when we come back, closer to the end of summer and shoulder season, then we're off to a good start.
The total mileage for today was just under 6 miles, 3,500 feet of elevation.
You really had all these beautiful valleys and vast expansive views to look at the whole time. Definitely recommend it if you are in Lake Garda in Trentino. Of course, there's way more trails to do in this area, but if you want a secluded one, this is the one for you.
So there's a free app that the city of Garda has, and they'll give you a code to register with the app if you're staying in one of the local hotels. The app has routes for hiking, climbing via Ferrata. You get free bus transportation with the app and like a free ferry ride across the lake. So it's definitely worth downloading this app if you're staying in the Garda area.
And they also do like discounts to local businesses. We haven't looked into that. We're not sure what that entails, but I'm sure we can drop a link for y'all to learn more about that. Personally, I've never heard of this area. Tim planned this for us and he did a good job, and we highly recommend coming out here. This town is really close to like large cities like
Milan, Venice, Verona. So if you're in those areas, you're only a couple hours from Lake Garda.
Well, let's wrap it up, and tomorrow we're gonna try to do some Via Ferrata.
Yeah, and then the rest of the day we're gonna go maybe ride around the town and have a beer and a pizza.
That sounds awesome. I love it here.
It's like the diet that we've been on for...
We're moving here, by the way.
We are on our way to our first Via Ferrata. Essentially, it's something in Europe we've always wanted to do and just never had the opportunity. So Via Ferrata is a climbing style, an established route, either on a side of a mountain, usually it is, where they have fixed, what are they, bolts? Fixed bolts, cable steps. And then you have a climbing harness, as well as a helmet for gear, a safety mechanism with 2 carabiners at the end of it, and you clip in and out to essentially do this adventure style climbing and hike. Usually you're not always on the wall climbing or going through the obstacles, but you're also hiking intermittently as well. And today we are going to a waterfall. We're doing a Via Ferrata off the side of a mountain, and we're gonna climb up to a waterfall. And I think there's also a traverse across the canyon. I don't know if you know, but I'm very much afraid of heights. As somebody who climbs mountains, that's probably kind of a talk, but I do have a lot of fears that I overcome. Tim is pretty much fearless enough to even drive around Italy for 3 weeks as we're on our way to our Via Ferrata. So yeah, let's see what this Via Ferrata is all about. It gives a guidebook about the Via Ferrata routes as well as hikes too in a different book. Essentially talks about all the different trails here. Pretty cool. Has the route info. The cool thing about this book is it's in multiple languages: Italian, German, and English. Obviously the most popular languages spoken here.
I'm excited. This is our first official Via Ferrata ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Ever.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to do it.
So unfortunately, we bought some Via Ferrata equipment, but we had to leave it at home since we were carry-on bags only during this trip. We just didn't have room for it, so we had to rent some equipment. It was 20 euros per.
So what'd you rent?
A climbing harness and a helmet.
We'll show you the clips later.
And then we have our own gloves. You always got to have leather gloves when you're doing Via Ferrata.
It's probably up here, the waterfall.
See, I could do this every weekend.
Oh, yeah, seriously. So we first have to start hiking up to the Via Ferrata, get a little bit of a warm-up.
Get a little mix of hiking and climbing.
Whew, it's quite steep.
Tim's excited, but I'm not because not as keen to heights. Waterfall. Hey, look, they wrote it in German.
It seems like everything's in German here. I mean,
Love it.
it's really interesting the history of this area.
So that's the waterfall we're about to climb up.
This looks amazing.
Oh my goodness. This is a little crazy. A little mix of epic.
We each have a pair of leather black diamond gloves that we carry with us everywhere. Whenever you're dealing with Via Ferrata, there's lots of cables, metal parts that you have to grab, so you definitely want leather gloves. Climbing helmet, and then you've got your climbing harness, and it has these carabiners connected to it. And so the carabiners, you basically have 2 carabiners, and you clip in and out along the route. You always have one clipping. You always leave one connected so that you're always connected to the rock face. For these carabiners, each one is kind of different, but you press in the back, press in the front, it unlocks it, and then you can see it's locked. It doesn't open unless you press the back first.
So as a safety.
Safety feature.
All right, let's get dressed.
Let's do it.
We're all geared up. It's gonna be my face the whole time.
I think this will work.
I think so. The map of our route today. All right, Tim is starting the route. From here on out, we're going GoPro style, baby.
Yeah. You're doing fine. You just focus on what's in front of you, right? Say hi.
It takes like a little bit to get like used to, you know, changing.
Yeah, it does.
Look at Tim scaling the wall. Check out all the people going up. Okay.
Nice job.
This is so scary, but I'm smiling because I'm trying to hide behind my smile.
And that's where we came from.
Waiting for people to go up. This is the rungs I'm currently on. Say hi. It's really intense. Tim below me, there's the waterfall.
I see a left foot right here. Right up there above it. Nice job, hon. You're killing it up there.
Via Ferrata routes are located all over Europe and around the world, and they may even be in your own backyard. Via Ferrata means iron way or iron path in Italian, and a method of traveling across mountains dating back to the early 19th century alpinism. Via Ferrata routes are often free and open to the public, and some are even on private lands and require a guide.
Woo. This wire ladder is suspended in the air. We are completely suspended right now. So you always want to maintain 3 points of contact when doing Via Ferrata. This is awesome is what she means. She is suspended over the waterfall and a very big drop.
I feel like I'm on Amazing Race.
All right, I'll give you the bird's eye view. Now that Helen has safely made it across. Woo! I just told Helen that this route, this Via Ferrata route, is rated difficult, and there's only one level harder than this one. So I wasn't going to tell her that before we started, obviously, but I knew she could do it, and she did it. We're almost to the top, but I don't think she's happy about it that I just told her. Yeah, right there. Nice job. All right, we got a little rock section here. Little rock climbing.
If you want an out-of-body experience, do this.
That was great. Yeah. Exhilarating, scary.
Very exposed.
So the route was rated difficult. I definitely think that was accurate.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was beautiful waterfall.
They should rate it extreme. So
there's only one category harder than this route. So maybe next time, what do you think? We'll go for the harder one. Huh? No.
That's my max.
All right, so now from here we take the forest road all the way back to the parking lot. So nice job.
Nice job.
I'm proud of her. She did great.
What we were mostly impressed by were all the older people on the
route.
route.
Yeah, they're definitely older, and they're like 60s. There's definitely 60s.
60s.
Yeah, super impressive with, you know, the vertical climb. It was a challenging route, and I mean, Europeans, they're just great outdoors people. I mean, they do it forever, you know.
It's very, very, very impressive. The hardest part were the ones where there was really no line or
yeah. Oh, so like the rock holds, where it was like there wasn't any metal steps. What do they call
rungs.
that? Yeah, metal rungs, pre-established. It was like rock holds that were chipped out of the rock that you have to, you know, grab hold of. Your muscles start to shake, right? Because you put so much energy into your muscles that all of a sudden your legs start quivering, your arms start quivering, and you just have to relax. That's the technique. You just have to take a deep breath, relax, and try to shift your weight off of either your arm or your legs so that you're using the other one and letting one relax for a little bit.
I feel like this was a good one to start with because it was so difficult. So they can't be any harder than that.
That's true.
Yeah.
This was a very challenging route. I knew she could do it, which is why I didn't tell her that it was rated difficult before we started. What a great route. I loved it. I want to do more Via Ferrata.
Yeah, I think I do too. See you on the next trail.
Bye.
The last 3 weeks in Italy have been quite memorable. We wrapped up our time in Italy by exploring Lake Como and Milan before heading to our next country. Sign up for our newsletter for in-depth travel tips, subscribe to our channel for more adventures. Make sure to hit that like button to help support this video and comment below with any of your questions. We'll be back in Italy in the fall to explore deeper in the Dolomites and find out in our next video where we'll head to next, and we'll see you on the next trail.